Today, we're going to walk through the journey of breast reconstruction. It's a super personal process filled with a lot of big decisions. Our goal here is to just break down the key steps and the choices you'll face so you feel a little more prepared for the road ahead.
When you get a diagnosis like that, it just opens a floodgate of questions and emotions, right? And a huge one is always about your body, what happens now, and how you're going to feel. So today, we're going to zero in on one of the most important decisions in that process, breast reconstruction.
So what is breast reconstruction really? Well, at its core, it's about restoration. It's a surgery to bring back the shape and look of the breast. But it's so much more than just that. For so many people, the real goal is to rebuild a sense of wholeness, a sense of confidence.
And if this is something you're thinking about, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. Look at this. Nearly half of all women who have a mastectomy choose to have reconstruction. This isn't some rare choice. It's a really common and valid part of the recovery journey for so many.
So, where does a journey like this even begin? Well, the very first step is figuring out who is a good candidate for this kind of procedure. Let's break that down.
And it's important to realize this isn't only for people who've had a mastectomy because of cancer. Of course, that's a primary reason, but it's also an option for those who have preventative surgery due to a high genetic risk, or even to correct significant asymmetry after a smaller surgery, like a lumpectomy.
Okay, let's move on to the next phase. The success of any big surgery really begins way before you're even in the operating room. So let's talk about preparation, because honestly, it is absolutely key.
This is where you have an active role to play. First, stopping smoking. I can't stress this enough. It is critical for healing. Getting your overall health in the best shape possible just preps your body to recover. And building up your fitness, especially your shoulder mobility, can make a world of difference afterward. Oh, and please don't just glance over that last one. Arranging for help at home is a massive part of a smooth recovery.
Now, it's not all on you, of course. Your surgical team has their own prep work to do. They're going to do a really thorough physical exam, and depending on the reconstruction type you're considering, they might order a CT scan. That helps them map everything out, kind of like a blueprint, especially for a flap procedure. It's all about making sure the plan is perfectly tailored and safe for you.
And all that prep leads us right here, to the core decision of this entire journey. This is probably the biggest conversation you'll have with your surgeon, weighing all the options to find what's truly the best fit for your body and for your goals.
So, broadly speaking, the road splits into two main paths. On one side, you've got implant-based reconstruction, and on the other, you have what's called autologous reconstruction, which is a big word that just means using your body's own tissue. You'll often hear this called a flat procedure.
All right, let's take a closer look at implants. The big pluses: the surgery itself is shorter and that initial recovery period is usually faster. But, of course, there are risks you have to consider. Things like infection, or something called capsular contracture, which is basically when scar tissue around the implant gets too tight and hard. And while they're very rare, you also have to know about serious risks like an implant rupturing or a type of lymphoma known as ALCL. Now for the other side of the coin, using your own tissue. The trade-offs here are pretty clear. The huge benefits are a result that feels more natural. It's meant to last a lifetime, and it generally does better if you've had radiation. The flip side, it's a much longer, more complex surgery. That means a longer recovery, and you also have risks where the tissue was taken from, like pain or even a hernia. All right, once a surgery's done, the focus shifts completely. Now it's all about healing. And really understanding what to expect during recovery is crucial, so you can manage your expectations and just take the best possible care of yourself.
Recovery is a gradual process. It is definitely not a race. You can see from this timeline that first week is all about rest. That's it. Then you start to slowly reintroduce some gentle movement. And notice those lifting restrictions? They stick around for over a month for a very good reason. And if you had a flap surgery, any core exercises are off the table for even longer to give that donor site plenty of time to heal.
Okay, I want you to really pay attention here. This slide is incredibly important. It's about knowing when something might be wrong. Any of these signs, a fever, redness that's spreading, a flap that suddenly feels cold, or calf pain, which could be a blood clot, these are not wait-and-see symptoms. This is a pick up the phone and call your surgeon's office right now situation.
So, after you get through those initial weeks of recovery, what can you actually expect for the long run? Let's talk about the final results and what life is like after reconstruction.
Patience is so important here. The final shape and the feel of the reconstructed breast, well, it can take months to fully settle in. The results are definitely designed to be long-lasting, but just like the rest of your body, they'll naturally change a bit over time. Also, keep in mind that the little finishing touches, like nipple reconstruction, are usually done in a separate procedure later on. But here's the real takeaway. The vast majority of patients report a huge improvement in their body confidence and their quality of life.
And this quote, I think it just sums up the whole goal perfectly. Breast reconstruction is seen as a safe and effective option, but it's also a partnership. You really should think of it as a journey you're taking with your medical team. They are there to guide you and support you every single step of the way. So we're going to end on this question, but it's really a question for you. Now that you have this information, the power is in your hands. Your voice, your questions, your priorities, that's what matters most here. So just take a second and think about it. What's the most important question you need to ask as you get started? Because that question, that's where your best path forward truly begins.